Hey folks, it's Dave here, and a quick video tonight showing off the individual ODAI for APBA hockey. And I think I've done one before, but I'm going to do another one here because I notice more people playing this game and they're getting confused with the ODAI and, the individual ODAI. So we're going to talk about that. What is ODAI? I don't know. I think it's opponent defensive adjustment index. It rolls off the tongue. Just whatever. But anyway, what it means is that when you roll the dice, okay, and get a number on the card, there are certain numbers that can go up or down depending on the opponent defense, okay? And how APBA does it is it's a team defense, much like the APBA basic baseball, where you have you add up all the numbers, you get a team defense number. You look at a chart that comes with the game and it tells you if you're adding or subtracting from a particular roll, okay? So the defense will come into play. So if you're playing a strong defensive unit, you're going to take away some shots and maybe take away some passes. If you're playing a weak defensive unit, you might get more shots and a few less turnovers. So that's the idea behind ODAI. So when do you use it? Well, if we look at the chart here, okay, you're supposed to use it on results of 1 to 7, okay, and 10 to 20. That's when you're supposed to use the ODAI. And you have to stay within that range. Okay. So if you land in here on your roll and then you go adjust it, you can never go above 7. You can never go below 1. You stay in here. And the same down here. You can never go below 10 and you can never go above 20. So no matter where you fall, whatever your adjustment is, you're locked in either here or here. Okay. So how it's supposed to work is you roll the dice. So this guy, he gets a 25. He rolls a 4. You look over here. You add them all up. You look at the chart. You get your adjustment, and that 4 can either go up or down or stay the same. It really depends on who you're playing for a team. How the individual works is you're checking the individual player, and which I really like, and I think is faster because if you're doing the team ODAI, what you need to do is either add it all up beforehand, go to your chart and figure it out. That's what I used to do. So if line 1 was out here, here's your ODAI. If line 2 is out here, here's your ODAI. The problem with that is you need to have those 5 guys out here all the time. So if you swap up D to play with a different forward line, it messes up that number and you got to recalculate. So you either have to add them up all at the same time again, just to kind of make sure you got it right, or you got to change all 5 at the same time and always stick with that. I don't like either way, really. And so it was Mike Berger, I believe, was come up with this system here that you check the individual player to make your ODAI adjustment. And now the individual player matters rather than the whole line. So if you're going up, a strong defensive player, he's going to make a strong play. You're going up a weak guy, he's going to make a weak play. And I think that really more reflects hockey's doing it individually. And it's a lot faster because you never have to worry about who's on the ice. You only go to that one card. So if you want to play this guy and double shift them and change everybody else, you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to do any extra math or anything because it's just who's on the ice. Now, how do you determine who you're going up against? Okay. Well, what you do is, you roll your regular APBA dice, and then you roll an extra one, 1 through 6. And what you want to do is label these 5 guys with a number. And it doesn't matter what you want to do. You want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's fine. You want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's fine. However you want to do it. I kind of recommend going by the save chart. Okay. When the goalie has a save chart. Okay. So 1 is picked up by the left D, 2 is right D, 3 is center, 4 is left wing, 5 is right wing. Okay, so again, it's left D, right D, center, left wing, right wing. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would correspond to your dice roll. So a 1 is left D, 2 is over here, a 3 would be your center, and then, the other 2, 4 here, and 5 would be here. So that's how you would identify who the player's going up against. What is the 6? What are we going to do with 6? Well, 6 is going to be your natural opponent. Okay, so the center's natural opponent is the opposing center. So on a roll, if we keep this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a roll of 3 or 6 will be your natural opponent. So you have 2 chances out of 6 to go up against your natural opponent. So that kind of feels more like hockey because you're going to go up against him more often. Doesn't mean you will. Okay, there are times that your left wing's going to have the puck. His natural opponent is this guy, the right D. Okay, and I suggest laying out your cards like this because it really does help visualize the play and how the puck is moving. But occasionally, this guy's going to make the play. So maybe this guy crossed over to this side of the ice, or maybe this guy blocked a shot. He come around him, and now he's going to defend this guy. So there's a chance that anybody on the ice could be playing defense, and I think that's really cool. Even the opposing right wing could be going after the left wing. Again, you never know if they're going to meet in the center. Maybe this guy's tied up and he comes over. I mean, hockey, there's a whole bunch of moving parts in hockey, so your players can really be anywhere on the ice, not necessarily stuck in their lane. And that's where I think this really works for me is the individual ODAI. So let's run through a quick example here. Okay, so Nestorenko has the puck for the 68-69 Blackhawks, okay? Now he rolls a 25 and let's say the 1. So we dedicated 1 to the left D. So Nestorenko, his 25 is a 4. The left D is a 3. So how do we adjust the ODAI? 2 is the 0 point. Okay, so if you got a defensive 2, there's no change. Anything less than 2, you actually subtract. Anything greater, you add. So in this case here, it's a 3. So we add 1. So this 4 becomes a 5. And if I look at the chart here, okay, 4 is a shot on goal. Well, if I'm going up against Pronovo, I bump it up 1. Now it's a Soga, which means it's a potential shot on goal. And, we've covered Soga in other videos. So you can see how just going up against a little better than average defenseman, he takes away the shot. Now, let's just say we got that same 4, but we rolled a 2. So now we're going up against Tim Horton. His defense on right side is a 4. So what do we say? 2 is the breaking point, right? 2 is the even point. You add 2. So our 4 becomes 6. And now you can see that our 4, which was a shot on goal, when we go against Horton, it's now a shot on goal block plus 1. And if we look here, he's got a 1, and the 3 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So you'd have to roll another die and get a 6 to get that shot on goal. So that's where better defensive players come into play. All right, so that's just one example here on Nestorenko. Now, let's just say that we rolled a 51. Okay, where's my 5? There it is. So we roll a 51 and we roll a 5. Okay, so Nestorenko rolls a 51 and a 5. So that's a 5. Okay, and we come over here to Clancy's card. Okay, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in our example. And we look at right wing. He's a 1. So that's less than 2, right? That's less than 2. So this 5, which is a Soga potential shot on net, now drops to a 4 and becomes a shot on net. So you can see how a good defensive player will take away a shot and a poor defensive player might add a shot. Okay, so that means that he come in, gets around him, he didn't make the play. And so individuals really do come into play on this. Now, as you know, and I think I already mentioned that, it's 1 to 7 is their, the first block, and then 10 to 20. So in another example, let's just say that he had got a result of 16. So that's going to be an interception by the left wing. Well, if I'm going up against this guy with a 1, I'm subtracting. So that 16 now becomes a pass to the right D. So instead of a turnover, we hang on to the puck. Conversely, if I'm going up against Horton with a 4, and again, that we add 2 because 2 is the 0 point. So anything above that, we add 2. So if I had rolled a 14, well, I add 2 to that 14, and now there's going to be an interception by the left wing. So he has caused an interception. So you can see how ODAI kind of works here and how it works individually. And that's something I really like. is to be able to check which player. And you can see how fast it is. So again, we roll the dice, boom, it's like 51. Okay, I got a 5 going up against this guy. Oh, he's a 1. That 5 turns into a 4. That's how fast it is. You just locate the player, you go to his defense, keeping 2 as the 0 point. Anything above 2, that's how many you add. So this guy's a 4, you would add 2. This guy's a 3, you add 1. This guy's a 1, you subtract 1. Do I have any 2s out here? I didn't put out any 2s, which I should have. Nesterenko's a 3 at center, so you would add 1. If he's right wing, he's a 4, you would add 2. Again, usually the higher the number is usually better for the defense, so you want high numbers to bump that ODA up and push that out of shooting ranges or passing ranges. So that's how it works. Again, one more time, you roll your dice, all 3 dice. Then you got a 25. Again, that's pretty good. So there's our 4, and we're going against 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going up against Henderson, a left wing. That 4 becomes a 6, right? This 4, because he's got a 4 over here, you would add 2, and that 4 becomes a 6. And now that's a shot block plus 1. So that is how individual ODAI works. And I really like it because you don't have to worry about keeping a line together. You can swap D, you can swap forward, you can mix and match out here, and you just go to that individual. This die will tell you where to go. And again, 6 is your natural opponent, and how that works is your center is your center, your right wing is left D, your left wing is right D, and the defense go up against the wingers. That's kind of how it works. So I suggest laying it out like this. So you have a visual representation of the ice, and now you can see who your natural opponent is. So anyway, all right, so I'm Dave. Hope you enjoyed this, and hopefully it helped. Any questions, let me know. I'll see if I can help. But hopefully that clarifies the individual APBA ODAI. Like Mike said, he says, it's going to be confusing at first, but, play 4 or 5 minutes with this, and, after you use it a couple of times, you'd be like, wow, this is really easy and it's really fast, and it's I find it to be a lot more fun. You get a lot of different results, and again, you go up against a 4 defenseman, and he's going to be shutting you down, and that's what's really kind of fun, is having the individual. Again, if you go to the right side, he's still pretty good, but not as good as this side. So you really want to try to move that puck to the right side. So hopefully you get that defensive role. If you're the Blackhawks, you want to get that 1 rather than that 2, okay? And your best roll is if this guy was out here with the right wing 1, okay, your best roll would be a 5, because, again, he's going to be the weakest of the guys out here. So it just adds some flavor and some fun to the game, and I think it's faster and easier. So anyway, I'm Dave. Hope you enjoyed this one. We shall talk to you later. Bye-bye.